Okay, so today we're doing section 11.2, permutations where order matters in the way I pick things. Okay, there will be functions we're going to use on calculators. I'll try to write them out on the board so you guys can see them. But we're going to start off by introducing factorials to you guys. Okay, now factorials normally is used with the letter N, but you could use the letter X. But normally it looks like this. Okay, a factorial looks like that. And what that basically means is that you're trying to multiply a specific number times every number below it up until 1. So in other words, 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That's what 5 factorial is. 20 factorial would look like this. Now I'm not going to do it all, but it'd be like 20 times 19 times 18, etc., times 3 times 2 times 1. So there's a bunch of numbers in between those 3 dots, right? 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then 3, 2, 1, all that. But we can use the 3 little dots to say, yeah, you get the idea. We're multiplying. Now, if I ask you to find those answers, you can definitely say 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is by punching it all in. Or you can use that little exclamation mark on the calculator. So what you're going to do, let's do for the 5 factorial, what you're going to do is on your calculator, you're going to press 5, okay? And then for some of you, you're going to press a button that says probability and go to the exclamation mark and hit enter. But for most of you guys, you're going to hit shift, and then right above x to the negative 1, there's an x to the exclamation mark, so you're going to press that. So on your button, it's going to look like this. So you're going to press shift, and then you're going to press this button that says x to the negative 1, which right above it says x factorial. Okay? So when you do that, then press enter, it gives you how much? 120. Okay? That's your answer, 120. All right? So what about 20 factorial? I don't even know if it's too big. Let's see. So shift. That gives me a huge number, 2.432902008 times 10 to the 18th. So that is if I write it out as a scientific notation, let's just go 3 numbers after the decimal, would be 2.433 times 10 to the 18th. That's what it gave me. Okay, that's a big number. Okay, that means that there's a total of 14 more digits after what I just showed you. Okay, and moving them over. So it's definitely over a million, over a billion. Okay, even a trillion. So that's how you're going to use your calculator to figure out factorials. Okay, is anybody not able to do that? Like you couldn't find the button? All right, so factorials are used, blessing, because we're going to be using them in the definition of the permutation. Okay, so sometimes you'll use them, sometimes you can just use the function itself. So this is what a permutation is. Okay, so in permutation it says given n items, you're going to be taking r of them. Okay, where order matters. So in other words, if I said I have 8 apples, pick 3. So you're going to do 8 pick 3. So that's what we say for the P. 8 pick 3. But order matters in this case. So maybe you'd say I only want to pick the biggest ones. I'll start with the largest one. Right? Whereas if we're doing tomorrow's lesson, order doesn't matter. So you can pick any 3. So if I had 8 apples, right? In permutations, you'd probably want to put them in order of size so that you pick the 3 biggest ones, right? Or maybe you want the 3 smallest ones, right? So it's going to matter, right? Whereas combinations is just kind of like tomorrow's lesson. It's going to be kind of like you're just going to close your eyes and just pick 3 of them at random, and it doesn't matter. Okay? So this is what the formula looks like. Now the nice thing is, on your calculator, it can do this for you. Okay? So normally, if I were to say, okay, let's do 5, pick 3, what you would have to do, notice the 5 is the n value, the 3 is the r value. So it would look like this. 5 factorial over 5 minus 3 factorial. Then you would write 5 factorial over 2 factorial. And if you put that into your calculator, 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial, you should get 60. Okay? If on your calculator you put 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial, you should get 60. Is that right? Yeah. Now there's a shortcut. You can press 5, then shift, then times, because right above that, that little NPR shows up. And then press 3, and then hit enter. That should also give you 60. Okay? And your screen probably looks something like this when you do it. It probably looks like this, 5P3. Okay? So in other words, there you have a button on your calculator that can do all that work. Okay? That stuff I did up in red, just by pressing a button. So you don't have to worry about doing this factorial divided by that factorial. Just press the shortcut, the NPR button. Okay? And in order to access it, you're going to have to press shift and times. Or on other calculators, you might have to press 5 and then the PRB button, probability button, choose NPR and then hit 3 and then hit equals. Okay? It depends on your calculator. Is everybody okay with that? Anybody confused? Because that's the most important part, because from here on out, we're just doing calculations, that's it. Here we go. So, example 1, find the number of possibilities. I'm going to pause this real quick, give you guys time to write both of these down. So, we're going to find the number of possibilities for A. Samantha has 5 classes. She's deciding which order to take them in, so order matters. So what I'm going to do, she has 5 classes, and she has to pick a specific way for each class. So she has to get all 5 classes and pick an order. So, I know this is going to be a little weird. 5 classes, pick 5 of them to put in order. Now, if the question would have said she has 5 classes, she has to pick 3 of them, then I'd put 5, pick 3. Okay? But right here, she's trying to organize all 5 classes. So she has a total of 5 classes, right? And she has to pick a way to put all 5 of them in order. Again, if this question would have said she has 5 classes, she's deciding to put 2 of them in a specific order, then you do 5, pick 2. Okay? But here we're doing all 5. So if I put that into my calculator, 5, pick 5, how much do I get? There's 120 different ways that she can pick 5 different classes in order, right? So it can be, we'll just say A, B, C, D, E. So it could be A, B, C, D, E, or maybe B, A, C, D, E, maybe C, A, D, D, E, right? Like you can change them all around, whatever order. There's 120 ways to do that. Okay? So, again, this isn't that difficult to do. You just got to know how to write it out. So this next one, where would I write it? I'm going to put the P here. What do I put in front of it? 30. And how many are they picking? 3. So I'm going to put 30, pick 3, right? So 30, pick 3. I get 24,360. And remember, for part B, there are 30 people in the group. 3 are going to be chosen, and it does matter which ones are chosen, right? Because they're going to get a specific job. So order matters. Okay? So if you ever wonder, if you play baseball, if you ever wonder how hard really is it to pick a lineup for your team, right? How many kids are in a baseball team on average? Huh? Like on a baseball team or softball team, how many kids do you have total usually? About how many? 17 kids. And how many people are able to play? 9, right? And does it matter which 9 are picked? Well, does it matter to you? Yeah, it does. What's 17 permute 9? So 17 pick 9 kids. So what do we get? 8, 8, 2, 1, 6, 1, 2, 8, 0, 0. So there's 8,821,612,800 combinations that your baseball coach can choose from. That's how many combinations they can do. Okay? Because it matters, right? Do you want to be the last one batting, or would you rather be third or fourth? Right? Everybody wants the cleanup position, right? So that's what has to go through your coach's head. Now, trust me, they aren't calculating this much, but that's all there for them, right? So that's the same thing with the batting lineup, right? Where are we going to put people? So anyway, this is the last one right here. So I'm going to pause it so you guys can write it. This is the last problem. All right, so last question here. You are setting up the combination of a 4-digit lock. So it has 4 numbers, okay? Obviously, these locks normally have numbers from 0 to 9 usually, right? The ones you roll, or you can type in. It says you want to use the numbers 1, 5, 3, and 8. Okay? But you don't care what order they are in. Okay? But I want to use 1, 5, 3, and 8. So how many different ways can I do that? So it has to be a 1, it has to be a 5, it has to be a 3, it has to be an 8, but it could be a 8, 1, 5, 3, it can be a 5, 1, 3, 8, 3, 5, 8, 1. No zeros, no 2s, no 4s, no 6, 7s, no 9s, okay? Just those 4 numbers. So I'm going to start a permutation. How many numbers do I have to pick from? 4. And I got to fill in all 4 numbers, right? So I got to use all 4. Okay? So what's 4 permute 4? 4 pick 4. How much? 24? All right. So 24 different ways to write. Okay? So there you go. Combinations would say there's only one way, but yeah, permutations says 20.